That's the name of the program. This is where all your black ideas come to life on the radio. If there was a topic that you think we should have discussed and we didn't, or if we did, and somehow you think we came up with a little light, that might have happened. Hit us up. Or if there's something going down in your corner of the world and you think the rest of the universe would benefit from hearing about it, as long as it's free and legal, we'd love to hear from you. So free your mind again and then reach out to us. Our number is toll free. It's also worldwide. It's 800-450-7876. Before we left, we were speaking with Carl in Palm Beach, so we left with Carl. I asked him about Savior's Day, where the nation meets. It's going to be February the 19th through the 22nd in Detroit. But Carl, you wanted to give us some ideas of some people you think we should talk to before we let you go?
Yes, and I want to use the premise of public education. I know most times we like to talk about our ancient history, which is vitally important because that's the strongest part of our root. But when we're dealing with the problem that has been placed here inside of America with the system that they gave us for education, I think these clinical psychologists and brothers and sisters that I'm going to call their names out, they're just some of the people, but I think these are some good. If I was to make a golf course, I got 12. If I made a team, I got 12 players. And the first one is Amos Wilson, Naeem Akbar, Dr. Georgia Gill, Julian and Nathan Hare, Dr. Claude Anderson, Brother Claude Anderson, Akil Parker, Siddiqui Bakari, Jerome Fox, Malafi Asante, our sister Janice Hill out of Detroit, Dr. V, and Tyrone Powers. And the reason why I suggest them, they allow us the opportunity to see the injury that we've incurred. And they have extensive study. And I think if we were just to take some of these people and we could utilize, like y'all was talking earlier about the internet, I think this is one of the avenues where we might be able to use it to our advantage if we would go to YouTube and select some of these people. And for the head coach, Carl, I would pick Brother Carter G. Woodson. And the most disappointing thing that I always encounter during Black History Month, everybody talk about how it started, Black History Day, week, month, and now we're talking about 360. But if you ask average person, do they know who Carter G. Woodson, and do they understand the methodology and strategy that he tried to lead us into as a result of him developing Black History Day? I don't think we know who Carter G. Woodson is. I know I asked my superintendent and my chairman of the school board and other board members, and none of them knew. But yet still, we have these same kind of celebrations like what we have for Martin Luther King, and it's so disappointing that if you stop many of our children and ask them, do they know anything about Martin, sincerely, they're perplexed. And we spend a lot of money on parades and stuff like that. I think we need to change our course of study this coming year and spend our resources on some real substantive things that can yield some progress for us as a people. And last, I'm gone. I just want to say the greatest example of a human being, a living human being, a legend in our midst, a loving man that's been on the ground for us for over 71 years. I'm talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan Muhammad. And I pray sincerely that you would consider what he has to offer. He has a self-improvement course of study and that takes you on a journey where you develop the things inside of you. And then always, when you come into the nation, you go into your men's class, and our sisters go into a women's class, and it provides us with tenets of how we could grow possibly to be like the nation, come from the 20s and continue to grow where we're at right now. Thank you, Brother Carl, as always, for allowing me the opportunity to break bread with you. Love, brother.
All right, family, that's Carl calling us from West Palm Beach in Florida. It's an open phone Friday. You know how to reach us, 800-450-7876. If you are on hold, we will get to you. Let's go down to the Metroplex, though, in Texas. Barbara Mallory Caraway. She's on line 6. Grand Rising, Barbara, welcome to the program.
Well, good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I can honorably say that I do know who Carter G. Woodson is, so our founder of Black History Week and month, and then, of course, as I said, we need to do it 360. So, but it's a pleasure to be here with you today, and thank you for having me.
You know, I wanted you to come on last week because we had a spirited discussion, we'll say, about Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, some people say, and let me just preface this by saying the family that Barbara is hoping to replace Jasmine Crockett in the Dallas Metroplex area in Congress. So Barbara, some of the listeners felt that she was too, how can I put this, too coarse, or basically was saying that she was too loud, just basically saying, some people were saying that she was too ghetto. So, but a lot of people appreciated her approach to politics and what she's done. As somebody who wants to replace her, what are your thoughts?
Well, yes, I am running in an open seat because, as you indicated, Ms. Crockett is seeking to run and to represent us in Texas. We have never had an African American. We've had to represent us in the U.S. Senate. We have never had, we've had several African American men to even seek that position. So I think that it's very admirable. But I think, too, as it relates to Ms. Crockett, the people in her district love her, and some, as she had stated, would the
Hey, yo,
primary
peace,
in,
fam.
in
There's no
the
sound right now because I'm waiting
the Democratic Party,
for Carl
and
Nelson to come
a
through.
lot of things.
And then I'm on hold. He's on another conversation. I'm basically just about to play one of my videos while it's going on and while I'm waiting. So peace. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Bounce, come back, stick around. But I'm gonna get this conversation off and then just try to have more of a presence on YouTube in different capacities. So that's what's up.
Electoral Warrant came between almost 3 points. Then you had Colin Allred, who actually came within, I think, 10, and our former Mayor Ron Kirk also ran. We had Royce West, who is a
calls Ahku for the future, works that secure favor for generations yet unborn. In Ahku, the king acts as Horus, protecting his divine father, as a loyal son.
I think that he may identify as a white male, but she has to follow her passion. She has to follow what she thinks candidate. Can you
All right, all right. I had to stop that joint because they're about to put me on maybe in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm gonna just chill out, and then next time I come back, it'll be on. All right, I hear you. I hear you. I'm gonna do that then. I never thought about Tubi. Yeah, you know me, man. I kind of do my thing, and if I get recognized, that's cool. But I do need to start putting some effort towards that. So I'll check out the no, it's all good, family. I definitely appreciate you. But yeah, I'll check out the Tubi thing and see what that's about because I got another movie I'm working on. I've done two full movies that I don't really talk about. One about with my father-in-law, and his work in establishing the Asar Society in DC and the work that he's done in Ghana. And then the other one about Baba Zulu. And that's actually why I'm on the line this morning. Um, and I'm working on another one related to Nkechi Taifa and her work. So, but I'm about to start. So let me get everything straight. But I appreciate you, family. Definitely appreciate you. Let's see. Hopefully you can hear it. But all right. Boom, boom.
Starting the weekend with us on this Open Phone Friday. Free your mind and reach out to us at 800-450-7876. And we say free your mind. All that means is just think for yourself and come to your own conclusions. You can leave the talking points alone and just decide for yourself what the issues. If this is something you're comfortable with, and just reach out to us at 800-450-7876. Go line 5C. Please call us from South Central Los Angeles, where I think it's going to be 90 degrees or 80 degrees. It's going to be real hot.
Okay, I'm still waiting. He's dealing with somebody from South Central Los Angeles. I don't even know how to respond to that joint. All right. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let me go ahead and put that joint back up because I thought what it was they had me on hold. And then got off a hold in order to ask me my name which typically indicated I was coming up, right? So clearly I got ready to come up. I cut this feed here and boom, nothing. So let me find another one of my videos to play. So if you're gonna watch this, this is part of some work that I've been doing, right? So I haven't really talked about it, but I've been working on an ancient Egyptian papyrus that is little known. You may have heard me say it every once in a while, but I've kept it real. I've kept it really tight to the chest, right? But when I do come out finally with the book that I just finished and with training people or teaching people about the papyrus, this is one of the videos that I created in order to go with it. I'm gonna go ahead and just share this part with you now, since we're trying to figure out, how to keep you engaged while I wait to get on this here program, this here show. So let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. So this one is called the Divine Mounds of Denoy, right? You're not gonna find this if you look it up online. This is the interesting thing about my work, right? You're not gonna find what I'm about to put up at all if you do an internet search, right? Because this is okay, here we go. Wait.
787624 at the top there. Charles is in Baltimore. He's on line 4. Grant right now.
I thought I was getting on. I got it. Okay. I'm just gonna hang it out. I'm gonna leave it right here because it looks like he's cycling through the people pretty fast. Okay, I'm gonna play it. I'll just stop it when it's time. So those of you that are watching, and if there's a jolt in the switch, just know that that's why, right? But so this papyrus that when I do my work on it, it was used to train priests, right? And so this is one of the teaching tools that I'm going to use when I work with people to help them memorize, the way in which the priestly texts were written. This is a complete passage from it. It's called the Divine Mounds of Dunaway.
The acts of the gods were inscribed.
You tell us what's wrong. So tell us what's right. What would you like?
Put a 1 in the chat if you could hear the sound.
I would like to see you
Please.
supporting the people.
All right, I got you. Put a 1 in the chat if you could hear it, because I got it. If not, let me see if I need to share the sound. Yeah.
And here to represent these people, just like the Jews and the Latinos do. We need equality. That means separate and equal. Why haven't we gotten equality to this day? Because we have people on the radio, on the TV, in the media that are parroting the narrative that is selling us down the drain. What we used to do when we talk about Black history is how we used to have plans, agendas, and we went into action. But all we do now is parrot that and talk about the past. But when it comes to the present,
not the video. Oh, snap.
That's right. And I'm gonna let you go. But here's what I want you to do.
Okay,
I want you to start it first. I want you to be the leader. And instead of complaining, Charles, I want you to be the leader. But I thank you for your call.
Okay, here we go.
On, Kevin. 800-450-7876. Let's go to Anthony. Anthony's called us on line 1. Kevin, let's hang up on that. All right, let's move on. Thank you, Charles. Move on. Thank you. Where's Kevin? You're welcome. Have a good day. Thank you. And stop complaining, Charles. Do something. don't you're part of this tribe too now. So we shouldn't do this. It bothers me, folks. We should do this. You should. Why aren't you doing it?
Oh man, this is crazy. This is funny.
And you feel like insulting us as a people, you're insulting yourself because you're part of us too. As I mentioned, Anthony's waiting for us. He's in District Heights in Maryland. He's on line 1. Grand Rising, Anthony, your thoughts on this Open Forum Friday?
Okay, thank you, Carl, for this opportunity. My name is again. I'm president of People's Committee for Justice and Equality. We're advocates for the Constitution.
All right, just hold on.
We are asking American. And ask the people if they want to make the, want this change. And, we.
All right, I'm really just waiting. I
had to.
I think he might even go to another break before even coming to me.
Law, but if we write them ourselves, we can pretty much guarantee they will be.
Let me see what
written and enforced with the majority.
I hear what you're saying, and it's correct on paper, but it's we have a hard time getting people to vote. And you talking about making a change. You have so many people who are happy with the situation they're in. They don't want to rock the boat. They're content, even though they're being.
Right now, I'm trying to log in
to because part of the problem is they don't know any better. So Anthony, how are you going to reach those folks?
See what's happening.
Well, the only thing I can do is offer a call. I can offer, I can't see no other way. Based on what's going on now, I would think the people would want to change and want to try something different. As far as writing the law, the Congress, they put out, they want to.
It's not me asking him to address any points. Basically, I'm coming up there to talk about my experience within the last week, really, and my response to this Panther stuff that went on. And then I'm promoting, for the most part, the movie that I made about Baba Zulu's role in the civil rights, Baba Zulu's activism, and then invite people to come out and to see the movie that I created or that I made on February 21st. So that's what it is. It's a two-pointed conversation. So, and then I got permission. I called Aaron Dixon last night because really if you've been following me, when the Panther thing first rose,
you came up with a solution.
Like I said,
I know the problem.
I
and you came up with a solution.
contacted Aaron Dixon because the brother that's in Philly.
Thank you for your call. Hopefully somebody.
Okay, here we go.
My website call.
Go ahead.
My website.
PCJE.com.
But that's primarily it. That's primarily it.
JE.com. People's Convention for Justice and Equality. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for trying to come up with a solution. And as I mentioned, so many people are just so happy, just content with where they are with the situation. And you decided, well, we can do something. And that's why you came up with that solution. And thank you, Anthony, calling from District 28 away from the top of the hour. Let's move on. Thank you, Anthony. We got to move on, Anthony. Got a lot of folks here on hold. 800-450-7876. Cosmic is calling from DC on line 3. Gun Rising Cosmic, your thoughts on this open phone Friday?
Hey, peace and blessings, brother Carl. Thank you for having me on again. I wanted to discuss two things today. The first is the this event, this stuff that went down over the last week with the Panthers. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
You share that with the rest of the family, Cosmic. So I'm not sure everybody else has been following
Okay.
what's happening in Philly. So just tell the family what happened.
Yeah, no problem. So, and then to tell you the truth, I was just gonna watch the situation, but this brother named Paul Birdsong, he came out and it's for some people it seemed like he just arrived, but he actually been doing work in this capacity for about, from what I could tell on his social media, for about a year. He's been in the community doing things, and he's had activist movements since like 2020 when a lot of people came out during that Black Lives Matter protest, right? And he had been, but recently he got a lot of attention because he had did a lot of bravado in relationship to how he would approach ICE if ICE came to him. So he organized a unit of the Black Panther Party that claimed to have ties to the original party um in Philadelphia, right? And so that's what has been going on. He gained a lot of media attention, and it was really spiraling for a second. And then what caught my attention though was he had mentioned a name of a brother that I worked with when I was in Seattle. And that brother's name is Aaron Dixon. Aaron Dixon and his brother Elmer Dixon were the leaders of the Black Panther Party in the Seattle, Washington area in the 1960s, so on and so forth, right? And then I worked with them in organizing the 40th anniversary out there in Seattle. And so when he mentioned that name, that got me more interested in the situation. And so then I called Aaron and asked him that. I called Aaron, I think it was Monday. I called Aaron, no, Friday. I called Aaron Friday, last Friday. And then I asked him, was this legit? And he said yes. Aaron had said yes. He had been working with these brothers over Zoom for a little while. And he had said that several groups had come up with these names, but they haven't had any guidance. So him and a few other of his Panther comrades got together and they wanted to guide this group. Now from last Friday, and then okay, that's what happened on Friday, and I felt kind of conflicted because at first I didn't know what to think of this Birdsong brother because he kind of just popped up. His MO kind of felt like the MO of the Grandmaster Jay. I don't know if you're familiar with the NFAC and that whole situation that went down in 2020 or during the Black Lives Matter protest, the militant organization that kind of rose up out of nowhere and then disappeared almost just as quickly and seemed to be a government run op. But
because John, Mr. J, he's incarcerated, so I'm not sure how much is government. I don't think we can, claim that they're agents or anything like that. But go ahead, because we're coming up on a break.
Okay, all right, but then but I wanted to just talk about that. And then Aaron Dixon, I asked him if last night I talked to him, I asked him if it was okay if I talked about this today, and he said yes. And so but and then just that whole situation, it was just
Okay, Kaufman, because we're going about break, and I'll let you finish it because we can't leave it halfway baked like this because now the brothers who are in the streets are saying that the Black Panthers or the new Black Panther Party they were checked and now they've changed their name to something else.
Right.
You know if you know about that. So I'll let you report on that when we get back. As I mentioned, we're going to step aside for a few moments. At 23 minutes away from the top of the hour. Family, it's an open phone Friday. Free your mind and reach out to us at 800-450-7876. And we'll take your phone calls next.
This is partially nerve-wracking, trying to get it all out. Because he's kind of rushing it through. But, you know, I'm trying to do what I do. He still got me coming on after the break, which is great. Because I really came up initially to talk about the Bob Zulu joint, remember? So we'll see how this goes. Oh man. Whatever, man. This whole thing is kind of like out of your element. You know, when you yeah, I do. I do. The whole thing on Sinetta right now is kind of interesting. I've been kind of sitting back. I've gotten together. I've been working on 2 presentations, right? And it was really based on my conversation that I had on the other app, Vigo, right? One is the prophets of Kemet, which is the high priest and the priest of Kemet. And the second one is methods and techniques of plagiarism in the Bible. So I've been kind of chilling on that level and waiting for that. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna announce it on Sonetta and see where it goes. What I'm also noticing is I might need to just be more aggressive and outgoing because I'm kind of laid back. I'm comfortable. I'm solid with the things that are going on. I'm solid with my understanding. I don't know if that's just coming with age. But this is information that needs to get out. And then there's a fire that I know the Bible. It's madness. But that's his niche. He focuses in on his niche. He circles and cycles the block, and he knows every aspect of the block. And you know, Sonetta does his role. He plays his role really well. And I really like the brother, honestly, in what he does, because he knows exactly what he's there for. He's got a big heart. You know, everybody's got problems with him. But when you really look at it, he does have a big heart. So he's cool. All right.
The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. That's why
So
people call Optima Tax Relief.
when I get back on,
Tax resolution.
I'm gonna have to run through this.
Like the experts at Optima, their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS.
I don't know if I want to challenge Carl because then I've been in these situations and spaces where you're on somebody else's platform and they run it and dominate it because they tend to shut you down and then control the narrative, which is their job. Because that whole in fact situation, I think, you know, is a thing.
Opinions expressed in
Here we
this
go.
program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Urban One Incorporated, Radio One, or any of its
I've been thinking about the
subsidiary
Nepal
companies.
joint. I was thinking that last night.
Now back to the Carl Nelson Show.
Thanks for rolling with us on this Friday morning. Thanks for starting your weekend with us last weekend of January 2026. It's an Open Phone Friday where we give you a chance to free your mind. You can reach us at 800-450-7876. Before we go back to Brother Cosmic in the district, let me just remind you, coming up later this week, or next week actually, the futuristic researcher, Brother Sadiqa Bakari, Sister Filet from the Men and Women's Launch. And also, Mark Manaheim will be here, and Griot, Professor James Small will join us as well. So if you are in Baltimore, make sure you keep your radio locked and tight on 1010 WOLB, or if you're in the DMV, 1450 WOL. All right, we talk about Black Panthers. Yeah.
Let me share something with you that just came up.
Okay.
Got a call from Christian. Former CNN anchor Don Lemon was taken into custody last night. Multiple sources from CBS News. A grand jury was impaneled yesterday. FBI and HN were involved in the arrest. Did you hear about that?
Actually, I did. During the break, somebody sent me that information too. It was stories in the New York Times. They sent me the story from the New York Times. I didn't get a chance to read all the story, just so that Don has been arrested, and I actually reached out to him this week. And he got back. I still got his number. So no. Don was a regular on this show. Well, not on this show. We did a show from 10 to 1 called Trending Today. 10 to 1 on Radio 1. It was on Sirius XM and all the Radio 1 stations. And Don was a regular on there. So there's a little bit of history there. So, so I reached out, and I was glad he hasn't changed his number. He told me he'd get back to me. But now, this morning, one of his people said he was arrested last night.
Yeah, CBS News says this unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crimes they think is administration will not stand. Don will fight the charge vigorously and thoroughly.
Yeah, because that was what I was going to ask him about. Because the first time they detained him. I don't think they arrested him. The first time they detained him. And he was exercising. He's just a journalist. So they say, he's not working with CNN, but he works for himself. He's self-employed as a journalist. And they were trying to say he's not a journalist. But so when they took it a step further, the person who makes the decision whether or not to file a charge at that time, the first time, says, well, he's got a body of work as being a journalist. That's what he was doing with it. He's got his microphone and tape recorder and his camera. That was his job. That's what he does. He doesn't have to be working for CNN. So they let him go. So last night, again, I just found out, as you mentioned, with that story that somebody sent it from New York Times. So they arrested him. So actually, that means they filed charges. Yeah, he wasn't detained like he was the first time.
Right. He's charged with unlawfully interfering with church-goers' constitutional protected freedom to practice religion. And yet, then you got the ICE agents shooting people and no investigation, not even a day off, right? Yeah, quite a parallel.
Yeah, they're trying to make triple out of Don Lemon, but we'll see. Yeah. Don, regardless of how you feel about this, he's still a journalist.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. 15 away from the topic. Cosmic, I hope you're still with us because it relates to what we're discussing. You're talking about the Black Panthers in Philly. A startup group, they call themselves the New Black Panther Party, and they were daring ICE to make a move on. That's what they were doing. They're strapped and walking in the streets of Philly, dressed in black. And then Huey's niece slammed them and said, these guys are fake. And she also called out the leader, as you mentioned, as being an agent. They're trying to use them to get, she claims now, to get this civil war started, because then they'll attack ICE, and then, Trump will send in and call an insurrection, and the whole thing, the civil war. They're trying to use that. But the brother, they backed down. They changed it. They're called the Black Lions or something now. They changed the name.
Yeah, the Black Lions for Solidarity and international something power or something of that nature. So what ended up happening was the Aaron, Elmer, and a few other their friends got together. They had a 2-hour conversation with them on the phone, and then because when the brother announced that tomorrow they were supposed to have a meeting tomorrow in Philly, that Aaron was going to be there along with a few others. He wasn't. Before he made that announcement, they had a meeting asking him not to say their names. Just they can say Panthers were going to be there, but just if they could leave their names out of it. So when he went again, when he didn't do that, when he announced their names, and then a few other times when he's been online and then in the social media sphere, and his focus on I versus we, this is what Aaron said, on his emphasis on his actions versus our actions, are what he is doing versus what we need to do. He phrased it in those terms. He was then after a while they recognized, or they said, or they ended up saying that his character and what he's representing doesn't represent the ideals of the party, and the Black Panther Party was or is was an organization that existed and needs to be held up in the highest standards by the brothers and by any brothers and sisters that want to represent it. And then they ended up rescinding their support of the brother, and then asked him to make an announcement to change, the name, and then to disavow association with the Black Panther Party. And so that's what he did. And so that was all of that happened so quickly, like it rose and fell, really fast, and that was very interesting. But when I spoke.
Do you think they say he's an agent? Do you think that's possible that he's working on the other side?
It's really interesting looking him up. When you see his backstory and everything. I mean, it's I don't I want to say yes, his MO plays out like that. Now, I thought in my research, you had said he's officially, incarcerated, Grandmaster Jay. But when I was doing research on him when he was out, like, and then with other people, they identified several people were like actors inside his organization, and so on and so forth. And then his MO was to identify with black culture, with elements of black culture that will galvanize the people, like Grandmaster Jay sound like Grandmaster Flash, so on and so forth. And then he came out with that. This brother, his MO kind of seemed the same. He represented himself as a gangster, which people are automatically going to identify with. Then he's a hip hop artist, and he's trying to organize underneath the Black Panther name, which people are automatically going to recognize and then identify with. And he assumed the name. And then Elmer reached out to him after they found out he was assuming the name. It's not as if though he was trained and then said, go out and do what you do. Like, he initially assumed the name, and I think Elmer and them wanted to make sure that they were representing it correctly. So it seemed like when Aaron had said he supported him, I was torn. Because at first I was like, yeah, he seemed like an agent. Then with Aaron's support, that made me, because I know Aaron personally. So I was like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I was gonna head up there to find out, but there's a possibility. The brother seems genuine and sincere, when you watch him online. But of course, there's always a possibility somebody could be working both sides. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk. Aaron also said he would be, although he.
Before we go further, let me just say something about Grandmaster Jay, because he's been on this program several times when they were coming after it. And if he's an agent, he wouldn't have let him stay. He wouldn't be in jail right now. He'd be in prison for what he did. They don't treat their people like that. He'd have been out. So I don't think he's working for the other side, because he wouldn't have been incarcerated. He's been incarcerated for quite some time now.
Yeah, yeah.
For the other side. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay. Also, if you were interested, I asked him last night. He said that he would be open to coming on the show. It's just the time difference, because Seattle's 3 hours behind DC. But he said he would be open to coming on the show and talking about the situation, or just talking in general. And the second thing I wanted to talk about was also, once again, asking people to come out and to support the showing of the life of Baba Zulu, and the fundraising, the film by Dr. L. Singazkulu Zulu, which everybody knows as Baba Zulu, right? And the school that he founded in 1968. It goes from preschool to high school. He's graduated people as young as 16, as young as 14, who's went on to become lawyers, doctors, architects, engineers, teachers, farmers. He's been working diligently in the community, I mean, since the early 60s. So we got a 60-year resume that this brother has put in. he's met with and he's done work with the likes of Dr. King, John Lewis. John Lewis and him were tight, like hand in hand. Medgar Evers, Fannie Lou Hamer. It's interesting listening to the story of how Fannie Lou Hamer learned to read and then became an activist. That's in his story. Like he was down there teaching in the fields and watching Fannie Lou come up, and he was there when they went to when she went to get the vote, and the interaction she had with the sharecropper, being a sharecropper, and how she had to fight for her right to vote, and her rise to becoming a national leader in the SNCC organization. He worked also with Kwame Ture, H. Rap Brown, and many others, right? And he was arrested for our rights and for our freedoms 69 times, and his life was almost taken several times, taken down south, and then also right here in Washington, D.C. So this is the second part I wanted to talk about, just coming out to support the film showing, which is going to be February 21st at 6 p.m. at 1554 8th Street Northwest. If you want more information on that, you could call 202-232-2997.
All right, if you got a flyer, just send a flyer over to the station. We're going to put you on hold, and Kevin will give you my email address, and we can make that happen. Help out folks.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Let me just add this, Kevin. You mentioned that Don was actually, from I'm just looking. I didn't read the entire report. I got it during the break. I thought he got arrested in Indianapolis. I'm just looking at it now. He got picked up when he was in L.A. He was out covering he was there for, I think it was Grammys or something that took place this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
That's where they picked him up.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Yeah,
That was it.
Yeah, they picked him up in he wasn't in Indianapolis.
I'll tell you what, man, because I appreciate
conversation. And
because I appreciate all 20 of the brothers and sisters that watch and follow me tonight or within the next this weekend. I'm going to make that challenge and have that debate about the gospel. So I'll do that. Appreciate you. I'm ending this right now, though.
All right, family. 6 away from the top. Our brother